call.
So when the call goes to like voicemail or something like that, I never leave a message. I just follow up a few days later and I mark it in my spreadsheet where I've got all the phone numbers, and I just mark it to come back to it in a few days' time, ideally tomorrow. I just keep hitting the numbers until I actually get a pickup. I don't like to leave a message because then there's a chance they block the phone, which prevents me from actually having an opportunity to talk to them. And then I just keep hitting the phones, baby. Let's see what we got next. Hopefully someone actually picks up.
Is not permitted to receive calls.
So that's another one. Dead lead, right? So we're just going to go ahead and add tag and call this one done. So if they don't, something like that happens, I just mark it as done. Next one.
Looks like you don't have enough credit to make this call.
That's the third one in a row. And this is what happens, right? Like you just get dud leads. And this is probably a problem with the leads that I actually have. I do recommend it though. The platform I use is Lucia. It's really good. I've been able to get directly in touch with pretty much every business owner except for literally the last 3 that you are seeing me call right now. But let's just jump into the next one. Here we go.
Good morning. Speaking. How can I help?
Hey mate, my name's Gavin. Full transparency, bit of a cold call. Have you got 20 seconds?
Yeah, what is it about, Gavin? Are you able to give me a quick overview of the subject?
Yes, 100%. So I'm based over in Auckland and I help businesses with their email and SMS marketing. And I jumped onto your guys' website and I just noticed some issues with the email marketing side of what you guys are doing. And was really just kind of wondering if you guys had a strategy behind it at the moment.
Sure. Gavin, appreciate the call. Yeah, we probably do have some issues with our emailing strategy, but we got no cash to engage with a creative agency like yourself, just focusing on trying to get sales at the moment to get cash flow up. So yeah, we just don't have any spare resource to engage with your business. But perhaps I can engage with you when we get a bit more cash. How does that sound?
Yeah, totally. Hey, mate, we actually have some plans. We're doing it with a few people at the moment where we don't actually charge until the service is complete. And typically what we do brings in a bunch of cash. So it's kind of like, you know, sales are generated and then you use a portion of the sales that we generate to then pay for our services. It just kind of eliminates a bunch of the risk, you know?
Oh, yeah. So we use Wix email marketing.
Yeah.
What email marketing do you guys sort of do? We have Wix for our website. But it's got a free plan with the Wix Ascend, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you guys do differently to that?
Totally. Well, a few other questions before I get into that. Do you guys have, like, how big is your email database? Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, we're small fry, man. We're probably emailing to like 50 or 60 just previous customers or people who have just subscribed to the website. Like we're super small. Man.
No, I'm with you. Well, mate, I think actually in that case it might be a bit too small for us to really be able to help you guys. But dude, sorry to waste your time. And
No. I appreciate the call, man. I do cold calling with barbers all the time, so I understand where you're coming from. But yeah, we're just a bit too small and just need some cash through the door, and hopefully we can get more and more people to sign up, Gavin, and then we'll have to engage with someone like you down the track. But, until then, yeah, all the best, mate.
Too easy, mate. Hey, I sent you a connection request on LinkedIn. Until then, mate, best of luck, eh?
Cool,
mate. Have a good weekend.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
So, obviously, in that case, person was too small. There's no way I was ever going to close them. Just wouldn't have been worth my time. So I just qualified them right there, right? Before I went into like my whole rambling about how we could make them money, how we could make them sales, I've just gone ahead and said, well, how big's your actual list? And unfortunately, they were way too small to qualify it. So just cut the conversation there. However, you'll notice at the end I asked for a LinkedIn request. I just try and maintain communication with these people even after, because you never know, right? In 2 years' time, that business could grow. And then if they see my LinkedIn content, which is why it's important to be posting on LinkedIn and have like a way that you can still be in touch with these people, they could, remember me. They will remember me because we had a phone call. They'll see my content consistently popping up, and we'll just go from there in the future. Hopefully, fingers crossed, right? But nonetheless, let's jump into the next one. So this one I'm actually, this is a business. I like to do a little bit of research on the business, and you'll notice in that previous call I said, hey, I noticed that you guys weren't doing any email marketing because I'd done some research there. And I just like to remember a little bit about what I'm doing here before I actually call, just to give some context when I do make these phone calls. But let's go into the next one. So, message, I'm just going to hang up. I'll add a note to follow up, and I'll call him next week. So this is the next one. So this company is actually quite big, so don't think... For some reason, I'm always just like a bit intimidated by the bigger companies, but big companies have problems too, and if you have a solution for it, it's your moral duty to try and solve the problem. That's how we justify this in our head, right? So if we go to 6. So far, no meetings booked. That's just part of it.
Hi, I'm not.
Right, tough day on the phones, huh?
Speaking.
Hi, my name's Gavin. Hey, full transparency, bit of a cold call. Have you got 20 seconds?
Yeah, okay.
Too easy. You'd be blown away by some of the other responses I've gotten. I help businesses, I'm based over in New Zealand, American accent, but I help businesses with their email and SMS marketing, and I jumped onto your guys' website, and I noticed that not much was happening on the email marketing front, and I was just wondering if you guys had like a strategy behind that, or if there's anything that you guys are working on.
Oh, it's one of the things that we know we're meant to do.
Yeah, of course.
But I've just been too busy.
I get it. Yeah, totally get it. Well, hey, I'll give you a quick, nice and easy pitch. We try and help businesses get at least 35% of their total revenue coming from the emails that we send. So,
Well, that would be quite large for me, and I'd be very happy with that.
well, there you go, right? Do you guys have an email database that you're working with currently?
Yes.
Okay.
22,000.
And you guys aren't doing any email marketing?
I just found out that my global content manager switched off all of our email journeys a year and a half ago, and no one told me.
So you are losing out on a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Do you know what you guys were built with? Was it Klaviyo? Was it MailChimp?
MailChimp.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, listen, I can tell you what, I can definitely help you if you guys have 22,000 subscribers and you don't have flows and you don't have any campaigns. I work with a bunch of brands in New Zealand, a few in the US, and a few in Australia, in a very similar space to you guys, kind of in the health and wellness supplement space. I know you guys are in like a bit of a niche section of that as well. But
We're market leader,
yes,
number one brand in New Zealand for 14 years in a row, and we've got 22% market share.
absolutely. Well, in that case, there's definitely some work that can be done from an email marketing perspective. We're working with some of our clients who, I mean, our largest client does about 162,000 a month from email, and then we've got clients on the very small end that are doing about 10,000 a month from email. And then obviously, if you slap SMS on there, it's like a whole different ball game as well. I won't take up too much more of your time because I know it's Friday, but if you're interested, would you like to jump on a call maybe next week and I can kind of run through what I do and what my agency does?
I'm interested, but next week is really, really busy for me. So if you have time, why don't you tell me now?
I've got time right now. Too easy. Well, do you want to...
I'll tell you why I'm being this cooperative.
Sure. Go ahead.
This is something that I've had on my to-do list
Yeah.
for 6 weeks.
Gotcha.
Okay, since I found out by accident that all of our journeys were turned off. However, when I went and looked at MailChimp, I saw that they'd all been set up incorrectly anyway. The images were too large, people wouldn't have been opening them. So then I started writing. Our number one selling product is sleep drops for adults. It's the number one product in New Zealand. So I started writing the content for that journey, because the problem with being number one and being experts in your field and being market leader for so long is that you can't just write 25% off email promos.
Sure.
Like, you actually have to be a thought leader. So you actually have to add value. So then I started looking at, the hundreds and hundreds of articles that I've got in my sleep programs and my hygiene tips and my 6,000 scientific studies. And, I started going, oh shit, like, I need to write content that's going to really add value to these people's lives. But then, I start to go down a rabbit hole of... So what I need is something working, and then the intention of building on that a little bit and a little bit and a little bit each month, until we can get it to the part where we're... Otherwise, I'm a Virgo, like type A, it has to be perfect. So nothing goes out. And then, just yesterday, I was berating myself going, you probably lost another $30,000 because you didn't activate that email. Yeah. Because you wanted to make it longer and longer and longer. So I am looking for someone who knows what they're doing to do this work for me. Can you hang on 1 second? A call I've been waiting for in Australia is just coming through. 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
About that.
That's all good.
Another salesperson, and they're really hard to get off the line.
Yes. Yeah, well, hey, now, okay.
Hey, I'm in sales. It's all good.
It's a
So
graft.
what was your name?
My name's Gavin. Gavin Hewitson. Yeah. And what was yours? Oh, I know your name already.
I'm the owner.
Fantastic.
So, if if you have time right now, I'd love to know how you work.
Totally. Do you want to get on a quick video call, or you just want to stay on the
Yeah.
phone?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, I'm going to send you an email right now. Just want to confirm your email is...
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to send you a calendar invite. If you just stay on the line to make sure this goes through. Put that in there. Catch
Where
up.
are you working from, Gavin?
Auckland, New Zealand.
Yeah, where?
St. Luke's.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Work out of a little home office. I'm a small agency. We just do email and SMS marketing. It's me and 5 other people at the moment. But yeah, we're pretty agile, bit nimble. Love that word, right? Agile. And
Well, it's true. Small businesses are.
yeah, I think that's
the
the thing.
advantage. You can pivot. My husband was working for a big engineering company, and he managed a team of 80 in the business services, and
Yeah.
they'd have to have 4 months of consultation
Right.
across all their stakeholders and their different departments before they could launch anything.
Yeah.
And then I'd get out of the shower and say, "Oh, I'm going to do this today. I've just had a great idea."
Yes.
And it drove him nuts. And so during COVID, he's like, "Please, can I come work for you?" And I'm like, "What, are you mad? We haven't been married."
yeah.
And he was absolutely insistent. And yeah, he left his big job and came and worked for me. And we can just literally pivot, do whatever we want.
So good. I think there's pros and cons to both, right? It's like you can say, like, from a small business perspective, you're like, we're agile, we're nimble, we can really like over deliver for the clients that we work with because there's scope for that. But then for the bigger companies, they can say like, hey, we have our tried and true processes that have been tried with hundreds of clients, right? And once again, pros and cons, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Easy.
Okay, cool. I've got your link. I'll just click on it now.
All right, I'll see you there in a sec.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So really quickly, I'm going to jump into this meeting. We're going to see if we can close this. I'll let you know how it goes in a second. I'll see if I can record the call as well, and then we'll just lace it in. It's like, because I bartended on the Yarra River for like 7 months, met a girl, stayed a bit longer than I should have,
Yeah, that's how I ended up in Japan too long. I know what you
Yeah.
mean.
The whole story. Just give me 1 second. Okay, cool. Fantastic. So I will start with just kind of showing you, typically I work in Klaviyo. I don't know if you've heard of Klaviyo before.
Yeah.
I really try and get people out of MailChimp just because, especially for a business of your size, the segmentation that you get with Klaviyo is so much better than you get with MailChimp.
Is it worth the investment? Because last time I looked, it was phenomenally more expensive.
How much are you paying for MailChimp right now?
Oh, about $400 a month.
Got you. And you said you had 22,000 subscribers?
Yeah, I think so.
Are those active subscribers or just?
I think about 11 to 15. I can't remember are active.
Got you. Give me 1 second. I'll let you know exactly how much it's going to cost because I think it's actually going to be cheaper than your MailChimp. MailChimp upped their prices. I'm sure like MailChimp. Oh, are you still paying for MailChimp even though the flows weren't working?
Yeah, this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's $4,000 in MailChimp fees.
That's. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh. That's so.
Oh no, I was gutted.
Yeah.
Absolutely gutted. Like if she was going to start a project and not finish it, then she probably could have let me know before, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you had you said 11 to 15,000, it would be $350 US a month for Klaviyo. So cheaper than MailChimp.
No, definitely not.
You said you were paying 400 for MailChimp?
Yeah, New Zealand dollars.
New Zealand. Okay. Yeah, cool.
But anyway, it doesn't matter if the difference in conversion and functionality justifies it, then that's okay. But like you're talking $500 a month, New Zealand dollars, right?
Yeah.
But if it brings in thousands, then all good. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so let's say we'd go with Klaviyo. That's cool.
Totally. So where I would start would be building out your flows and automations. For smaller businesses, there are about 5 core automations that I like to build. But for a business such as your size, there's actually about 9. So think your classic welcome series, which is where a lot of that education that you were just talking about. I like to obviously have an incentive to get people to sign up. But first email gives them the coupon. And then I'm a bit different. I'm not super sale when it comes to email marketing. I like to do a bit of education and goodwill, build that
Yes.
goodwill up, and then
Yes.
that leads to the conversions down the road.
Yes.
If you look at like goodwill almost as like a currency, you can trade that currency in for a sale down the road. And I like to build that up through the emails. So
Yeah.
welcome series, all about educating. Then you have your classic abandoned cart, browse abandons, post-purchase thank you flows. And within those flows, we design them to make sure that we're cross-selling certain products as well. So for example, if someone is like a post-purchase thank you flow, they buy your adult products, right? So for the adults, we can then say, hey, after a week, hope your product's going well. Have you seen our other products that we have as well? So the kids line. Also, we can then trigger replenishment flows. So on average, I'm sure you know when it's time for someone to buy again, right?
Yes.
We can delay that within the flow and then be like, hey, odds are you've got a week left worth of your product. Let's restock now. And by the time it arrives, you'll be ready to use your next file. And that's like that retention, right? And just trying to keep them into the ecosystem. And email marketing is far cheaper than like a Facebook ad, a Google ad, and everything like that.
Absolutely. I've just spent the morning crunching digital marketing strategy costs. So it's fresh in my mind. I also know, the ROAS that I get from radio versus digital. So my husband and I were just debating that. Anyway, keep going.
Then what I like to do, obviously, we can create segments in your account that are comprised of people that are high rollers, people who've placed an order multiple times over all time. Then you can actually create lookalike audience based on those segments in Klaviyo and Facebook. So we can integrate Facebook with Klaviyo.
Yeah, we do that with MailChimp. Yeah,
exactly. Right. So all that good stuff. Then there's the sign up forms. Obviously, we want to make sure that we're building the side of your list. So getting sign up forms coming into your account and then split testing that. With our email marketing, we make sure there's something being split test at all times. So with email marketing, it's like a game of inches over a long period of time. Obviously, like the first attack that we have on the account will be good. We'll get you to some solid rates, but then those incremental gains, when you extrapolate it over like a long enough time period, starts to pay off. You do a subject line test here, a look and feel test here, increases conversion rates by 1%. It's the exact same with Facebook ads, right? When you split test Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Then the final bit of the piece of the puzzle, well, there is SMS if you guys had like an SMS database, but the final piece of the puzzle is campaigns, which is the more active management side of things, where we come in and I like to have, for a list of your size, you should probably be sending about 4 campaigns at a minimum per week going out to your audience. And once again, I like to have a 50-50 split between educational content and sales content. And then behind that is like a segmentation strategy, right? So I don't want to be offering sales to people who have just bought. That's just going to piss people off. So we're going to exclude them from that segmentation, make sure that the sales emails are going to people who haven't placed an order in like 30 days and are engaged with your database. And then informational content will just go to everybody who's engaged. And the great thing there is educational campaigns. We can actually filter those back into the welcome series because they're timeless, right? It's like a blog article. Let's just keep it. We can there's no point in wasting a good piece of content from from an email perspective once it goes out to a campaign, because what about the people who haven't seen that campaign? They should still get educated. Work it back into the welcome series. Your welcome series continues to grow as time goes on. You build up like essentially a library of content that'll continuously go out.
Yeah, cool.
Would you like to see some of the accounts that we've worked with?
Yes, totally.
Fantastic. I am going to just get the screen up here. Bear with me. I want to make sure. All righty. So I have permission for this account, which is why I'm showing you. Otherwise, would be a different story. So this is probably our largest account. This is an Australian-based business. Let me know if you can see that.
Yes.
Fantastic. So we're doing about 54% of their revenue coming from email. And keep in mind, this is Australian dollars. So we're doing about 172,000 coming from emails that we send. That's coming from a nice split between the flows, fulfilled order, sorry, let me just run you through the interface. Actually, I get ahead of myself. What you're seeing here is flows. automations. So like your welcome series, your fulfilled order, abandoned checkout. And you'll notice like in the welcome series, there's a split if they subscribe to SMS marketing, if they haven't. And we're actively building out the size of this flow. You'll see it's quite big, right? Because we're continuously educating and adding to that flow as time goes on.
Yeah,
right?
good.
And we have conditional splits, right? Like this email here educates the reader about a book that they've sold. But we don't need to sell that to them if they've already bought it, right? And so you'll notice that we have a conditional split, kicks them out if they have placed an order for it. And it's just those like little dynamic bits that's really going to separate, I think, like the average Joe from like an email marketing perspective to what we do. And yeah, so that's the whole flow there. We have got our fulfilled order flow. And so obviously we're cross-selling products based on what they've purchased in the past, right?
Yeah.
So let's sell this one, they'll sell this one. And you'll notice there's a split test running at all times. So we're split testing the, here we can actually even see it. There's a winner, right? And so we can view the A/B tests and we always have these running in the background. And we're like, okay, well, let's take a quick look at this, right? So we've gone ahead and just adding an emoji, right, has increased the open rate, or sorry, decreased the open rates, but increased click rates. So from that, we're like, okay, that's interesting. Let's go ahead and select that as a winner and then implement that in the rest of the campaigns, right? And it's those little learnings where if we're on board as like an active partner, we're consistently doing in the back end.
Yeah, cool.
Nice and easy. I'm trying to think. Oh, you probably want to see what the emails look like, I'm guessing, from a design perspective. Let me just quickly bring up our template guide. We've got a bunch of templates that we're currently working on. Let me find you one. There we go. Obviously, take this with a grain of salt. Like this is not exactly what your emails are going to look like, right? But we design everything in Figma. We make sure that these emails look good on desktop and mobile. And we also optimize for dark mode. I don't know if do you have your phone like set in dark mode at all? My phone,
no, I don't know.
No worries. It's like, when you can invert the colors on your phone for, well, that's, I think it's like 70% of people actually have like their email browsers set to dark mode. So we just make sure it's a lot. So you actually need to be optimizing these for dark mode. So you'll notice this is white, but it's actually transparent when we build it. So the colors have the opportunity to invert and look good on those devices.
Wow.
Yeah. But those are just like little nitpicky things that we try and do.
Yeah, cool. And we just give you our branding document, and then that way you stay consistent to the colors and the logo. 100%. And then
yeah, there'll be a if we did want to work together, there's a onboarding form that I give you guys, and it just kind of runs through brand guidelines, any words that you do and do not say. We've got a supplement brand. They're like, hey, we cannot use the word wellness in anything that we say. Cool, chuck that in. Access to MailChimp, and
that's the one word we can say.
Well, there you go. Let's just switch the rules.
Where are they working?
It's more like they're trying to go. That brand's more like the optimized performance, get onto your A game, sports supplement kind of thing.
Oh, right. They want a harder message. Yeah,
like a very like masculine forward, seize the day kind of thing. Totally. So if we were to get all your flows set up, and I'm fully transparent, I wasn't prepared to like fully pitch today. So this is moving fast.
Well, I wanted an email marketing company to come do my work for me, and you had the sass to go ahead and make the phone call, so you get rewarded, right?
Totally. So to get the flows set up, basically, which would be your core 5 flows, we'd be looking at about 3.7 to get all those core 5 flows up. Then we could look at the campaign management, which is 4 campaigns per month, which would be 2, just straight 2,000 per month. And then with those 4 campaigns, we're also optimizing all the flows that we've done in the back end. And based on your database, you can pretty much, I don't have a guarantee, but I'm very, very confident that you guys would get the return on investment from the emails that we send.
Okay, so I have 12 different products.
Mm-hmm.
And then we bundle them into various combinations, menopause, for example, hot flushes and night sweats interrupting sleep. And then we have the older guy waking multiple times to go to the toilet. So when you say, and also you mentioned 9 automations.
Yeah. So we can build out more automations if we want. I typically like to do it in stages just to kind of give you guys a first chance to see how we work. And if you like it, we can continue on.
Right. So the five automations is for how many products is that?
Sure. So within those flows, for 5 automations, we can typically build out about 8 to 10 emails per automation. So if you had, and this would all come out in like a journey mapping session, right? We get like do you know Miro at all?
Yes.
Yeah, so we just jump into Miro. You and I would get in a call. We'd hash out exactly where we want the splits to go, what cross sells we want to have, and all that stuff. But typically, you'd be looking at about 10 emails per flow. So if we were to do 5 flows right off the bat, you'd be looking at about 50 emails. But we can obviously, allocate more emails for this flow compared to this flow, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that in principle, I understand exactly what you're going to do because it's not my first rodeo. I have worked with many different companies over the years, and then we bought it in-house and we were managing it ourselves. And then, like I said, I just found out none of it's been active. Craziness. Okay, so will you please send me an email outlining all of the stuff, timeframes, expectations, pricing, and then I can have a chat to my hubby about it.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. And what I'll do is we can also chuck some forms in there as well, some sign up forms with some split tests there too, just to build that list. What I would say is our best attack, and we can manage the whole migration over to Klaviyo as well. Like we'll move everything over from MailChimp into Klaviyo for you guys and get that all set up, get you the access and the integrations in there as well. And sorry, just to confirm, you're using Shopify, correct?
No, WordPress.
Gotcha. So using the WooCommerce, yeah, sweet, easy. That still works for us. So we'd manage everything like the integrate. Well, we'd help you with the setup, the integration, and everything like that. Sometimes the people that we work with are not comfortable giving us access to the WordPress. Totally understandable. We just give you the instructions on how to integrate Klaviyo directly into WordPress. It takes 5 minutes. It's super easy.
Well, our programmer can do that, I'm sure. But
Easy.
Also, if we bring you on as a partner, then we bring you on as a partner.
Yeah, roger that. Cool.
Like, if your evil strategy is to like pretend to be an email marketing agency just to infiltrate people's websites to like put Samsung phones for sale.
Yeah, there's a little banner ad.
I hope you're a bigger thinker than that.
First in selling erectile dysfunction pills all of a sudden.
Well, I have actually had that happen.
Have you actually?
Yeah, I've had both of those things put on my site in the past. Through the blog.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, how did you get in there? But where there's a will, there's a way.
100%. Well, and we don't do full payment up front, and there's no lock-ins for anything that we do as well. So if at any point you're like, hey, Gavin, this isn't working, I'm not going to lock you in for like a 90-day or a 1-year contract, anything like that. What I would like to do is I'd like to just, if we were to work together, I'd like to hit these automations first, knock those out, because then we have a foundation for them when the campaigns start coming. It'll start triggering those automations, and then you'll see them all kind of feeding into each other as well.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
We luckily we do have a lot of education content already pre-written. I've got free 1 week tour. I've got 1 week tour more restful sleep programs. I've got multiple ebooks. We've got 500 articles. We've got 14 years of content that can be recycled.
I really want to lean on that quite heavily, to be honest, because you guys are subject matter experts. We can obviously take a copywriting lens and apply it to there. And, if it does come to the point where it's like, hey, we've exhausted our content, which, I mean, to be honest, 500 articles, I cannot see that happening.
No,
Um,
that's impossible. Yeah, because I can
yeah.
just write more.
100%, right? Like if you think about it like a weekly campaign, I mean, that's 500 weeks. The world's going to be over by then anyway, so it doesn't matter.
It will not. We're just going to keep on going. This gorgeous little
100%.
planet of ours.
I do love it.
Just got to get the evil, maniacal, tyrannical crazies out of the way, and then we'll all be okay.
One day, fingers crossed. Gotta vote. Gotta vote. Too easy. Well, hey, what I'll do is I will fire you over an email, and we'll get stuck in from there. And you let me know. Take the weekend. I'm not like a hard pushy or anything like that. So you just let me know.
Yeah.
And I'll give you some links to my podcast, my LinkedIn, my website, and go from there.
That would be good for my husband.
Yeah,
he really researches everybody before we get on board with them.
Yeah,
So,
100%. Yeah, for sure. Cool. All right. Well, enjoy your weekend.
yeah.
And
Thanks.
lovely chatting.
Yeah, thank you very much for calling. I don't know
Oh.
how you stumbled across us, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I just dial random numbers in the phone and
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot, Gavin.
All right. See you
See
later.
you.
Go. Just like that, we've got a very hot prospect. I'll let you know how the deal goes. I'm going to fire her over an email right now, just to make sure it's quick. We don't waste any time. You got to hit it while it's hot. They're going to take the weekend. Unfortunately, I like to try and get a decision right there and then, but I didn't want to be too. I'm just a little pussy, to be honest. Like, I don't like being really pushy. It makes me feel uncomfortable. But that felt really good. Like, I think we got along really well. We like each other. I've got clients that are very similar to hers. And it's a big client. I think we can crush it for them. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. That's all I'm going to do from a cold calling perspective, because that took a big chunk of my time and I've got a tight schedule. Goodbye. Subscribe, like, follow. You know the deal.